access the building blocks model, move your pointer to Industry Models on the top navigation bar. You can click or simply roll over and down to the building blocks model on the left side of the menu. The building blocks model represents foundational competencies that are needed by today's workforce. This model has gone through a couple of updates, and that information is at the top of the building blocks model page. The graphical pyramid representation is the actual model. The pyramid is constructed of tiers. Tier 1 is at the bottom. Tier 1 represents personal effectiveness. Tier 2 is the next level, academic competencies. Tier 3, workplace competencies. Tiers 4 and 5 are industry-related, industry-specific competencies. Tiers 6, 7, 8, and 9, which are at the top of the model, represent specialization that occurs within specific occupations within an industry. On each of the models, you'll see competencies listed on each one of those tiers. If I roll my pointer onto a competency, a pop-up box appears with the definition of the competency. Tiers 1, 2, and 3 are foundational. Tiers 4 and 5 are industry. And tiers 6, 7, 8, 9 are specialization within specific occupations within industry. As you move up the pyramid, the competencies become more specific. Each industry model in this website, whether it is predefined here or whether you build it, will be represented by this graphical model. On each model page, you will notice a web link that says download the industry model and worksheets in several formats. Let's explore this information. So with each model, you get a really useful set of worksheets, and we can do a couple different things with those. So let's take a look. On this page for building blocks, I notice that I have a PDF document. The PDF on this page for building blocks is a copy of the graphical representation of the pyramid. I see a link to a Word file. That Word file contains the graphical pyramid, an explanation of the pyramid, and the competencies that are included within this model. The spreadsheet is the file that I like to go for because I like to use a spreadsheet when I'm working on competencies. It just makes it much easier. We're going to take a look at this spreadsheet so you can see what the file actually consists of when you download it and open it. Again, this would be great to use if you're working on a team developing your competencies in your department when you're developing for your program. So here I see I've got a file, a spreadsheet file listed. It's got my competencies on it. I'm going to click Enable Editing up here. So now it's mine. I can edit it and make it my own for use with my team. I can take off the graphic that's up here. I can rename this if I want to, and I will see that I've got my Tier 1 personal effectiveness competencies. Those are listed. I'm going to scroll down the page. I see Tier 2 academic competencies. All of those are listed, and again, these are the foundational competencies, and this file contains all of them that exist within this website. Tier 3 workplace, and that's all you're going to see here because Tiers 4 and 5 go to industry specific. So in this building blocks model, they are not listed in this foundational file. They would be listed if you were to add them for your specific programmatic area. So that is the basic files that come with the competency model that is representative of what the information that's on the model. Now let's look a little further down the page. There's other very helpful files here. There's a Credential Competencies Worksheet. I'm going to open that file and let's take a look at it. Again, it's an Excel file, easy to manipulate. Okay, I'm going to enable editing. And I see that I have my competencies here on the left under each tier. This is going to look the exact same in each one of these files. The columns over here in this area to the right of those competencies is what's going to change. In this particular file, this is the first column says not important, preferred, essential, included in credential requirements. This is a file that will allow you to prioritize your competencies. This is like the activity that we did in training. So we were deciding whether a competency was essential or not important. This would be an excellent worksheet to share among your work team when you are deciding which competencies in your program that are crucial to have and which ones are not so important. Again, that is the Credential Competencies Worksheet. The next one down, Curriculum Analysis. Let's take a look, and the file name gives away what's going to go on with this file or how you can use it. So basically, you're going to see also on this file the competencies listed under the tiers. That information is the same. What changes? The columns to the right. I've got Course 1, Course 2, Course 3, Course 4. I could use this file if I wanted to go through and do some auditing of the current curriculum that I have. I could map the competency to a particular course. That would let me know if something is not there or maybe something needs to be updated. Okay, so let me close this one out. The next one down, Employer Analysis. I am anticipating this file is going to allow us to work with our workforce partners. Let's take a look. Again, competencies tiers listed on the left. On the right, we've got not important, preferred, and essential. A great way to use this file would be to give it to your workforce partner and let them go through and rank the competencies that you have identified. And then they can give you possibly the ones that you don't have that need to be there. So that would be kind of a gap analysis type of activity. But again, this particular worksheet is one that you share with your workforce partner and let them do an auditing of the competencies that you have specified for your program. The last one is Gap Analysis Worksheet. Let's take a look at this one. So on this worksheet, you're going to see again the competencies and the tiers listed on the left, and on the right you see two columns, achieved and needs. A couple of ways I thought about using this file that might be helpful. I potentially would use this file if I were assessing a learner. I could go through the process when they're doing their assessment to see if they actually achieved mastery on that competency or if there's some remediation that needs to happen and then they need to reassess. I could use this file to audit my curriculum. I could go through and see if a course is hitting a competency or if a competency needs to be revised. So again, that's a gap analysis. Several different ways you can use these very useful files, and these files generate, when you build a model on this website, those files will generate for you ready to go. Then you can edit them the way that you want to edit them. I have found on many college and university websites that are utilizing the Clearinghouse, they will take those worksheets and they will set them up in different ways, but they have used them over and over and over throughout this process. So that's one step ahead, and it gives you a springboard. This model and these worksheets give you a springboard to get you off and moving with your programmatic competency development.